Beyond Reach podcast gives the voice to brands, athletes, organizations in the outdoor space industry. Through open conversation, you're going to discover their stories, their successes and challenges, but also their vision. Welcome to the podcast.
So welcome to the podcast, Yvonne. I'm super happy to have you today, as I think people are going to be super interested about who you are and what you do and the whole concept that you brought up with your brother. So can you tell us a bit about yourself and your background?
Yeah. Thank you, Max, for Beyond Reach Production for the invitation. Thank you for the interest to get to know a little bit more about Outdoor Ecuador and what we offer. My name is Yvonne Malave. I'm Ecuadorian and I speak Spanish. And in my intermediate advanced level in English, so sorry for my pronunciation. And and I have been living in Canada for almost 12 years, back and forth from Canada and spending my winters in Ecuador. That's why I have the opportunity to have this business plan with my brother, running the business from Canada and running the business from Ecuador and vice versa. And so I'm pretty happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation once again.
You're welcome. So what did you do in the past in terms of studies? What did you study?
Yeah. So I grew up in Ecuador in a town called Manglar Alto. So proud to be Manglar Alto, from Manglar Alto. And I study tourism and the industry, how to manage hotel administrations, and I really enjoy that background because it's all about learning a second language and get to know about tourism's needs, and that's where my focus are in Outdoor Ecuador. I'm very, in a personal level, I'm very interested in to offer people from different parts of the world about the academic and hoteleria industry. And that's the type of service that I offer in Outdoor Ecuador.
Yeah. And in the past, we were talking before that you were a teacher, a Spanish teacher?
Yeah, actually, I'm a Spanish teacher certified in Ecuador. I got my certification back in 2009. And I have been teaching the language for over 12 years so far. I'm still doing it online. I'm still doing it when I'm in Ecuador and enjoying my career. I love my career. And you never stop learning, right? You learn from your students and the cultures and everything. And I love the fact that sharing, information, cultures, and for me, I'm so proud to teach my language because, to be honest, it's the second language that people speak in the world. And in Ecuador, learning from Ecuador, we have a slow dialect, that people is very interested in just get to learning the language in Ecuador, especially compared to other countries that have big different accents.
Okay. You mean like in Spain, for example, they have different accents when in
Exactly.
Ecuador is pretty even,
Neutral, exactly.
neutral.
Neutral.
Okay, I
And
didn't know that
that's
about.
what make Ecuador a little bit more famous to learn the language there.
Okay.
For people that want to travel around Central America and South America,
Yeah.
learn the language there or stop, learn the language couple weeks, maybe a month, maybe 2 months, and continue their traveling,
Okay.
just to get the basics.
Okay.
And that's pretty fun for us,
And so other than Spanish in Ecuador, what are the main activities that you can find?
Well, we have tons of activities to do. And the beautiful thing about the concept of Outdoor Ecuador was I come from the background of academic and teaching. My family my uncles are teachers as well. So I think that is into me. And I enjoy teacher. And my brother, which is my half brother, to be honest, he is Luis. and he is more in the adventure concept, and he is more the surfer. Even he brought me to the surfing concept when I was 12 years old.
Okay.
And he actually give me my first surfboard. And I started, doing these small competitions in my hometown and the whole thing. And he was actually the one who pushed me into the surfing concept. So he is very active. He's very in the immersive activities. So one day we were teaching in the same school, and we didn't have too much time for ourselves.
Yeah.
We were just teaching and spending time, like working hard and the whole thing. But we were missing this fire of being outdoors.
Yeah.
And we decide, let's do our own concept. Let's just make the plan together. You focus in the immersion activities. I focus in the academic concept, and that's how the Outdoor Ecuador started.
And so when did it started?
We started in 2013. Yeah, and have been almost a decade, and lead by the two of us. Then another part of the families and other friends came aboard and help us, to continue, this amazing concept that we have built, because it's not just for us, it's just offering a great service to people who is interested to learn the language, who is interested to know about our culture, who is interested in immerse themselves in Ecuador, and we respect that, and that's how we started. Yeah.
And so you had a background in teaching Spanish. Your brother had a background into surfing. Where did the background of business came from?
Yeah, so that's a good question, because with my husband, we were talking about the other day, is he's the same driven business concept, and I have learned a lot from him and the business here in Canada as well. But my family, my mother's side family, they are all teachers, and my father's family, they are all kind of like they have their own career. But my sisters, I have 5 sisters, they all have their own things going on. We're all very independent. And we grew up, my father and my mother. My father died when I was 11 years old. So that was my wake up for me, because I have to figure it out, how to help my mother. She was so young. We still was 11 years old, and we have to figure it out how to help her. And my grandma was an entrepreneur as well. She had her own bakery, and she had her own living lifestyle, and people respect her, in her town, like what she was offering to the community as well. So probably that come my background is just being a survival, and just seeing the adults, like the respect that they get in town. Probably that's why. And then I started my first job when I was 16 years old, and then I decided, like, you know what, I like working for other people, but I like to make my own rules. I was that kind of rebel teenager, let's say, right? And then I just finished the college, and then went to the university. I keep working with somebody else, and then when I was in university, I got an offer of, do you want to be a teacher? That was from Rosamelia. I really thanks for the opportunity with her. She say, what about if you come and work in this school? It's in Montañita. It's like a small surf town in Montañita, and we need teachers. And you have the qualifications, and looks like you have this energy. I think you will be a good fit in our school. And I say, okay, but I like what I'm doing, but let's see. And I really, the first year happened like 6 months, and then I got my certification, and then I get into this industry, and I was watching, I was learning, I was studying, and I say, like, I think this is what I want to do. I think teaching is my thing. I think learning from other people is beautiful, and I respect everyone, time. And that's probably I got my intuition and start doing my own hours to be able to earn my own money, but in my own time, in the same time having fun and being outdoors, because I have always been outdoor. I grew up, like I was saying, in a small town, Mangler Alto. We didn't grow up with technology. We didn't grow up with private thing. There was a small town, free children's place in the park, children's place in the beach, beach football and that kind of thing. So we were freedom in mind, freedom in soul. So that's the kind of concept that I'm offering in outdoor Ecuador.
So I think we teased a lot with the concept. What's in that concept? Like I know that you have three different packages. Can you tell us a bit more about the?
Yeah, definitely. For example, the first packages is Surf Up y Hablemos Español, which is aimed for, solo travels and couples who are looking to surf and learn the language, and at the same time looking for an stay that we offer with homestay, that they can practice their Spanish with the family while they are staying in a homestay, and then come to the school, continue with the Spanish program, and then go and surf with Luis or David, and then they come for a week, 2 weeks. But the concept is for surfers. Then we have another package that is Keep Calm y Hablemos Español, which is more for the yogis, souls, people that come, want to learn the language, wants to surf as well, but at the same time they want yoga. So we aim that package for those kind of travelers, that more peaceful, more quiet. And then we have another package that is all I need is chocolate, mar y español. So that also is immersed for Spanish, surfing, but we interact with cacao organic farms in the area. So we take our students to practice their Spanish with these cacao local farms, and they actually speak in Spanish, and they actually build their own cacao, practicing the Spanish. And it's pretty interesting because a lot of people book this package, and they love it because they are immersed into these fincas that we call it, and they use their hands, and they get the explanation in a different language, and probably that's why they get into this kind of contests.
And so, in terms of, that's pretty interesting, and I love that concept that you're trying to get different communities, from the surfers to the guys that want to do yoga as well, and this very unique package, which is with the cacao farmers. I would definitely take that one probably because like it's very interesting,
Yeah,
like you said, because you're in contact with local people. So,
definitely.
and so how did you from the start, like how did you come up with those packages? Because what from my understanding, the first package makes sense, like surf and Spanish, like it's probably the first package that you had at the very beginning. How long did it take you to finally have those three unique packages with yoga and?
Yeah, that's a good question, because for me, it's not just the business, Max. Is for me, outdoor Ecuador is love to be immersed with the community as well. And I'm living in two countries. I really appreciate every single move that every country offer me. So I know how hard it is to turismo sostenible in Ecuador, for example, and where the farmers and las fincas have to work so hard to be able to produce an amazing product. And I respect that process and I respect all that investment. So for us, being involved with the community is very important because that's our payback to the community as well, right? So that's how Karen is actually my academic director. She's in charge of doing all the Spanish programs and schedules and that kind of thing. She's actually my right hand in when I'm not in Ecuador. She's amazing, and I'm really thankful for her time and her knowledge and in helping me to build the business as well, along with my brother. And with her, we sat down one season and we start figuring out, what else we can offer to the students that Spanish and Sur don't get boring. We want to be, more immersed in the community, not only in Olón, also in Manglar Alto, also in Dos Mangas. And so what else? And that's how we came up with all these 3 packages. Now we are working in a 4 package that is Spondylus, La Ruta del Spondylus, which is a 3 weeks of package that actually we drive from kind of Guayaquil playas to Olón, and it's a volunteer program as well that has
So that's covering the like a big part of your country.
the coast where we are, La Ruta del Espóndilos package. Yeah, that is actually from Playas, Manglar Alto, Dos Mangas, Olón, and back and forth. That is something that we're working on.
You would see different places in Ecuador along the shores,
Along the shore, yeah.
and you have different stays in those places.
Exactly.
Okay, that's cool.
Well, it's pretty cool, and that's aimed for students, university students, and people who is looking to spend more than 2 weeks, 3 weeks of a stay, plus 10 days of volunteers in an organic cacao farm that they will learn, how to start from zero. What's the cacao, and learn about the cacao, and turismo sostenible, like how the agricultura in Ecuador, like all this kind of concept that is included in the volunteer, and that's why this package is 3 weeks, aiming for 3 weeks, and especially for a student like universities or escolares, like high school students. That's our focus. That's what we're working right now. It's still on it, but we're getting there. But our popular package is Surfapi Hablemos Español at this point, and they keep calm that people love yoga. People love that kind of thing. I love yoga too.
And so how is the Spanish being taught in the sense that is it really for people that doesn't know, like if I don't know anything in Spanish, am I going to be able to, like, because like you have classes, I imagine you have different levels, so how do you manage that, and how much time does it take? Is it like every morning I have like 2 hours Spanish and then I'm free? How does it work?
Well, we offer programs, we offer private Spanish lessons from 1 hour up to 4 hours. You can book yourself a private program without a package, right? And then you come to our school and you say, hey guys, I want to learn. We don't know anything about Spanish. So we give you a Spanish test level, so we can figure it out. What is your focus? What you want to learn from the language? And then you decide how many hours you want to study with us. You decide what is the schedule. For example, if you are like a solo travel that you're visiting the country and you have the time to study 2 hours per day, you can do that. But people who book packages, that's a program that's already built, that study in groups 1 hour and a half per day of Spanish, 1 hour and a half per day of surfing, plus activities. So we keep our student kind of busy the entire week, taking like Spanish, surf, yoga, for example, during those weeks. But we're pretty flexible. You can check more information in our website, and but yeah, we're pretty flexible. We offer Spanish from 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, 2 hours, up to 3 hours.
Okay, so basically, if I don't know anything about Spanish, I can, and this is something that you told me in one of the call that I had with you, is that because of COVID now I can learn Spanish online with Auto Ecuador,
As well, yeah.
and so I can get ready to then book my package and actually speak Spanish.
Yeah, actually, that's many people do that. Actually, sometimes they just come visit Ecuador, find us in the website, book programs with us, and then when they return home, they just want to continue and then just book the online Spanish, or in the other way, like you can start in online and then figure it out your level, because we offer programs in person and online, and we have all the structure pretty formal, in a formal way, and our teachers are well prepared to resolve in both ways, and then you can come with confidence, and everything have been figured out from us, from the taxi service to your accommodation, or giving you how to come from the airport to Olon by bus, and then we give you the itinerary, like this is the time that you are getting your Spanish lessons. This is the best time to surf, because we work around the tide and oceans conditions, and please let me know your availability, your travel days, and we figured it out, and we help and we work with our clients, just to make them comfortable, and a safe travel from wherever they're coming from to Olon, and to Olon in their way back.
Okay. And online, is it videos that I can watch and then I have Zoom calls with the teacher, or
Yeah.
is it, yeah?
Yeah, our online classes actually work all in Zoom. We have actually built programs online with the teacher, because every Wednesday we get reunited with the teachers to figure it out. How was the week? What was the plan of the week? What did you learn, or what did you teach this week? What we can improve. So we have built many platforms, in our Spanish programs, that we can figure it out, what could be best in the next lesson.
And I suppose that Spanish is probably, out of the whole thing in Ecuador, is probably the hardest. That was the hardest maybe to figure out of, like,
Yes.
surfing is like,
Well,
it's easier to teach it's easier to teach surfing, like it's easier to manage the different levels of surfing, whereas Spanish is really, like, it's a language, like
it
it's
is
way
a
harder.
language, and this is an structure to follow.
Yeah.
You can't just go and invite somebody else, and then
Yeah.
say, okay, let's just speak Spanish. But many people do that, which is good for conversations. But in the way that we are offering our programs, like I said before, is more professional. We have a structure to follow, and we have been certified. So that means we have been students as well.
Okay.
So we have to respect the language that come from La RAE, from Spain, because we can just teach for teaching, and we follow specific levels. For example, if you are like a beginner level, you will start a program that we call it level A1, which is A1, and that will be 2 weeks of study to be able to start your first conversation.
Yeah.
And in these 2 weeks, we teach the ABC, qué es femenino, qué es masculino, estructuras, and then how to communicate, and then immersion is important, because for us it's not just being in a classroom. For us it's important that the students, learn a little bit of the grammar, listening from us, being Ecuadorian teachers and then get into the town and practice with the locals. So that's all abarca todo ese programa, prácticamente.
Thank you for all your Spanish in your sentences.
Yeah.
I hope people have some basics, but it's
Yeah.
funny. It's funny to hear. Okay, that's okay. So that's quite something. That's you. Are you the only business offering that type of thing? Again,
Actually,
in the world in general, like in Ecuador, I suppose yes, but in the world, like, do you know another business that's doing that kind of
oh yeah, there is
complex
many
program?
Spanish schools in the world. Spain is known actually for offering actually one of the best academic structures in the language. And actually my plan is I hope I can make it next year, next summer, just to visit Spain and see and look for more research, how we can improve our platforms. In Ecuador, there is many others school. We are located in Olón. There is another school in Montañita as well, which is they are amazing. But the difference is the type of service and type of programs that we are offering. Like I said before, I used to teach in a different school, but I didn't have time for myself. It just was teaching, and that's how we create Outdoor Ecuador. The teaching is important, but as well the fun part, and the student get to know a little bit more of our country and our area is important.
So, but in Spain they do it, like it does exist.
It's more academic style.
Okay, so it's more about Spanish and less about outdoor and this sort
Exactly.
of stuff. So in the world, you would be unique.
Yeah, I will say very unique, and I will take that. That's for sure.
Yeah, like I've never, like I know in the past, it was on the English, not the Spanish side, but I did some stuff like that where I was like staying in families in New Zealand, for example, and in the morning I had like sails, so I was like sailing on the morning, and I was learning in the afternoon as well. So I know it does exist in English, but in Spanish, yes, it's the second language most like spoken in the world. But okay, that's very interesting. What else could I ask you? There's so many questions to ask.
Yeah. So the surfing, for example, let me tell you about a little bit more of the surfing. We are located in the Pacific Ocean, right there in la península de El Espondilus, provincia de Santa Elena. So the beautiful part about our location, Max, is, and I'm invite everyone who is interested in surfing in warm water, is our location is in Olón, and this town actually has a huge long beach that offer waves for all levels and people who just want to be in town, like which is tranquil, but in the same time offer many things and fun things to do. And the wave is just, in my opinion, is time.
And what's the best time to come and surf, because people are coming mainly like to surf, and I suppose you have seasons.
Yeah, we do have seasons, and we call it high seasons and low season. The high season for us start in December, ended roughly in May, and then low season start June to November. Why? Because that's the weather. December to May, we start receiving the north swells that are coming from Hawaii. So we're receiving those little waves. But when they end in our coast, sunny days, shiny water, blue water, sometimes dolphins around,
Where are your customer coming from mainly? Are they coming from North America? Where are they coming from?
Well, they are coming from North America. The first customer that we get were from United States. People, because we work with all ages, so we start receiving people from 65 plus. Then we start receiving families, adults with children, and then we start receiving solo travel and couples. Then we were receiving a request from Australia. Then we were receiving requests from England, France, and New Zealand. and Canada. In the beginning, I wasn't sure because like I told you before, I was new in Canada and I didn't get into the surf community
Yeah.
until 2016.
Yeah.
And I started meeting people and then start the interaction. Then I start my campaign in Canada.
Yeah.
So now I'm receiving a lot of Canadians in my country and taking programs with us. To be honest, all over the world, it's just
Yeah.
beautiful.
So how do you see your business going in the next months, years?
Yeah, well, so far we are pretty happy because I consider Outdoor Ecuador still a small business.
Yeah.
Because we have, for example, 9 teachers in total, 9 instructors that put all their heart and interest to continue offering the best service and at the same time professionalism and in every single activity that we offer, which is
Yeah.
beautiful. And in one part of me is stay small so you can still give in that kind of quality service that we are offering,
Yeah.
but in the same time is not about me, it's just about the demand that we are getting into, right?
Yeah.
So every year we're getting more bigger and more requests, so I have to expand. Like for
Yeah,
example, we
little
started
bit.
with just 2 classrooms. Now I have 5 classrooms, and then we open our online program, and then I have to do like a specific classroom for the online programs because
Yeah.
we can't have too much noise.
Of course.
And it's still, investments in little things to be able to continue provide the best quality and the best service to our customers. So
Yeah.
my goal is actually to have our own property with our own school. The idea will be having classrooms, yoga studio at the same time, or sort of shop everything in one level, and then hosting our customers in the same kind of property and have our own retreats.
Yeah.
That's a plan that I'm working on it in 5 years to be able to do that. And of course, my plan is to continue growing,
Yeah.
but it all depends, what all this world is going up to,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because
also, yeah.
is one is economy. To be honest, Max, I have to say, my country, Ecuador, is beautiful in recursos, beautiful in what we offer. The landscape is amazing, it's tropical weather, people is amazing, beautiful. But political situations, decisions in the political situations is not helping us to continue to grow in the way that we want to grow in honest, humble, and offering the best of the culture. So that's the only against part that we have in our and time as well. But I would say so far we are doing pretty good, and I hope to continue growing the business for not just for me, is as well to provide for the people who work for me,
Yeah.
so they have a job, they have hours, they have something fun to do, with because they love working with us. That's probably I receive the best from them. And so yeah, I feel like I have a responsibility as well to continue to provide hours for this amazing group that work with me.
Yeah, it's also for your country as well, and all the people working with cacao, for example, they're like then open to other culture, and they are also growing from your business, kind of like on the side. So it is very very interesting. Well, do you have something maybe that you want to add that we didn't cover, or?
Well, I want to invite you to come to Ecuador. It will be amazing, have Beyond Rich production in Ecuador. I think you will have a blast filming and making documentaries out there. There is so much potential, that you can focus there. And everyone else who listen this podcast to come and explore Central America and South America is just beautiful places to be. Many people think like, no, it's just too far or otherwise, but every part is far,
Yeah, exactly.
I think I encourage people, to get the decision and just get away for a couple weeks or 1 week on, out of your daily basics or out of your routine, in your
Yeah,
country, and go and explore, because
yeah,
life is once, and we have to take advantage of every single second that we have.
yeah,
And it's so much things to see and to explore in the world. So
yeah,
I welcome everyone who wants to come to Ecuador
yeah,
and visit Olon, and you won't regret it. Olon is amazing, it's beautiful, and you will definitely have fun out there.
yeah,
And come and explore with us. We offer surf, Spanish, stay and activities
yeah.
in Olon, and definitely you will have a blast.
That's very nice. And yeah, you're right on the experience side of it. Is I've heard like someone saying that I better die with $1,000 on my bank account and have experimented all the different things in the world, whereas having $1 million in my bank account and just get my money because I wanted to just grow my money, and that's all. So you have to go out and experiment more than ever if you can do it, because we know that times are like everything is rising. So if you can do it, just do it. Have fun.
It is it
and
is true.
and that's
Yeah.
cool.
And
Well,
this is important now that we are young, right? We're young, and times have changed so much from
yeah,
back in the 60s and 80s.
yeah,
Like right now, it's important just for health mentally and physical is
yeah,
important
yeah,
more than money.
yeah,
Money is very important though,
yeah. But
but
if
it's
you're not
still,
healthy,
you need a balance. You need a
exactly.
balance, and I think traveling, exploring after this COVID situation
Yeah,
is definitely
it's,
healthy,
yeah.
in my opinion. And we are affordable, so why not take the chance, right?
Exactly. Well, thank you very much for your time and your location, because you are at your house. Thank you very much for all that. I appreciate all that time and effort, and I hope that people are gonna come to Outdoor Ecuador. We're gonna put all the links down below on YouTube if you wanna check it. And yeah, thank you very much, and I see you very soon.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Max, as well, for the invitation. And thanks for driving from your place to my place. Really, really, from behalf of all Outdoor Ecuador family, we really appreciate the opportunity. And like I say, we are a small business, but we are going into discovering new ways of how to communicate and how to reach different countries and different
Yeah,
industries and people.
yeah.
Thank you really very much for the opportunity as well.
You're welcome, and you're right. There is definitely something like a real potential for Aldo Ecuador to show your packages in video,
Yeah,
and see
exactly.
exactly what's happening inside and out. Thank you very much, and see you soon.
Thank you. Bye for now.